Assalamualaikum and good day to all friends and to our chair, Miss Fatin. My name is Ummu Aimanah and let me introduce my group member. First is Rozyemah, Kirtana and Jesrina. We are going to present the type and comparison of loans offered by banks that we choose, which is RHB Bank, Hong Leong and CIMB Bank. We choose RHB Bank for our main bank and compared it with Hong Leong and CIMB Bank. RHB, a provider of financial services that provides retail banking, business transaction banking, insurance, and Sharia banking. RHB also offers asset management and custodian services, general insurance, unit trust administration, and offshore trust services. Hong Leong, a Malaysian stock exchange listed corporation, is a subsidiary of the Hong Leong Group, Malaysia. The group, headquartered in Malaysia, has provided financial services through Hong Leong Finance Berhad since 1968 and Dao Heng Bank. For the CIMB, it provides a comprehensive range of banking services, including consumer goods, commercial banking for small and medium-sized firms, as well as products and services for insurance, investment, and asset management.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So I'm Kirtana here. I'll be presenting about the comparison of the three banks. So the three banks that my group have chosen is RHB Bank as the main bank, Hong Leong Bank as well as CIMB Bank. So now I'll be comparing the requirements for housing loan based on three banks. So this requirements for housing loan is one of the criteria that we have chosen. So this slide here presents the Hong Leong Bank. So according to the Hong Leong Bank, the general requirement for an employed applicant is that they should have latest 3 months of salary slip, latest Borang BE which is supported by tax payment receipt, latest EPF statement and latest 3 months of bank statement. However, for customers that is self-employed, they must prepare latest 3 months or 6 months of pay slip with the proof of tax payment. There are also other types of requirements for self-employed for partnership and also self-employed as company directors. For example, if it's for partnership, the requirement is that they should have a valid business registration. Meanwhile, the applicants that are self-employed as company directors, they must prepare a business registration form. And there are also other requirements needed by the Hong Leong Bank, for example, as the income documentation and many more. Okay, this slide shows the CIMB Bank, so I'll be explaining about the requirements for the housing loan. So according to CIMB, the documentation needed for a house loan is broken down into two categories, which is the identification documents, proof purchase, and also the income documents. So for applicants who are Malaysian and those who are foreign are further separated into identification document and evidence of purchase. So let's just say if you are a Malaysian, then the developer's booking form, a copy of a national registration identity card are required. Okay, but there are also other requirements, like for example, the housing loan document is divided into regional and also local preferred. So the documentation needed is different compared to international applicant. It's not the same for the Malaysian candidates. The next criteria that CIMB Bank also focuses on is the income documents that is divided into three categories: salary applicant, commission applicant, and also self-employed applicant. So for the salary applicant, it consists of the latest 3 months salary slip, EPF statement, and bank statement, which is the credited salaries. However, the loan requirement for commission applicant, it consists of 6 months commission statement and later 6 months of the bank statement. However, for the self-employed applicant, is the business registration that requires later 6 months of business bank statement. The final bank is the RHB Bank. So all Malaysians who are employed in the private or public sectors and are between the age of 21 till 40 years old are eligible to apply for RHB housing loans. So the maximum gross monthly income for joint borrowers should be not more than 10,000 per month, while it should not exceed 5,000 for solo borrowers. However, for single and joint borrowers, the overall loan commitments cannot exceed more than 60% of their combined net monthly income. Moving on, about the property documents such as the copy of sale and purchase agreement or booking receipts are necessary to arrange for a mortgage loan. Additionally, a salary earned must provide a copy of their passport or IC as well as their most recent BE form, tax payment receipt, EPF statement as well as 3 most recent pay stubs. So that's all from me about the comparison that's based on requirements for housing loan of the 3 banks. Thank you.
Now I would like to explain the second item that we chose, which is interest rate. I will explain the interest rate of 3 banks, which is Hong Leong Bank, CIMB Bank and also RHB Bank. Interest rate is the proportion of loan that is charged as an interest to the borrower as an annual percentage of the outstanding loan. Firstly, interest rate of Hong Leong Bank. The standardized base rate by Hong Leong Bank is 2.75% and the base rate of Hong Leong Bank is 3.63%, while there is also 3-month Kuala Lumpur Interbank offered rates, which is 3.58%. Next will be CIMB Bank. The standardized base rate that is offered at CIMB Bank is 3.3%. The interest charge depends on the financing amount included with the interest rate and effective interest rate. And finally, RHB Bank. RHB Bank's Berhad's interest rate raised from 2.5% to 2.75%. Their base rate raised from 3.25% to 3.5%, and their base lending rate raised from 6.2% to 6.45%. And that's all for interest rate.
Next is comparison of collateral for housing loan. Overall collateral is property or other asset pledged as security for loan repayment. According to Hong Leong Bank, when the customer agrees to something as the collateral, if they don't pay back the loan or fail to pay the monthly payment, the bank will take away the collateral to resell it to other people to cover the payback loan. As an example, if a customer said he will give his car as the collateral of the loan, if he can fulfill the repayment of the loan, when the customer cannot pay, Hong Leong Bank will take his car as their property and resell it again to recover the loan amount. Cash FDs lodged with the bank, quoted share on Bursa Malaysia, or any other securities accepted by bank are example of suitable collateral for Hong Leong Bank. Besides that, no need for a guarantor for collateral in this bank. Meanwhile, for CIMB Bank, the bank accepts marketable landed property, unoccupied land or condominium units in typical good location with strong market value. The LTV ratio is dropped to 50% for unoccupied land. The assets should be free and clear of encumbrances. There should be no outstanding mortgage, disagreement or lawsuit that might compromise the property's title. Fixed deposit from CIMB are approved at up to 90% of face value. In addition, the quoted share and cash deposit.
Overall, Hong Leong Bank, CIMB Bank, and RHB Bank each have unique qualities and are distinct from the others, particularly in terms of the documentation requirements for housing loans, where each bank is required to provide the most recent 3-month bank statement, a copy of a valid passport, and a copy of the sale purchase agreement. In terms of interest rates, Hong Leong Bank's standardized base rate is 2.75% annually, while CIMB Bank is 3.30% annually. The Hong Leong Bank and RHB Bank, however, both use the same standard base rate of 2.75% annually. In terms of collateral, for Hong Leong Bank, there is no need for a guarantor. Assets belonging to CIMB Bank should be free of liens. Finally, for RHB Bank, the quoted shares and or cash deposits used as security by RHB Bank. That's all from us. Thank you.